Today we're taking a look at the Air Jordan 1 Union LA Collab. These are the black toes. What's up guys, BJ Kicks here. Welcome back to my channel Kicks on Kicks, where I review sneakers and have a good time doing it. Now, today we are taking a look at the Air Jordan 1. These are the Union black toes, brought to you by tidesneaker.ru. So I gotta give them a huge shout out and say thanks for donating this pair to the channel for content. Now, this is a shoe I've wanted to get my hands on for a long time. This is a collaboration shoe, one of the most hyped Jordan collabs, and we're going to get into a full overview of the shoe. I'm going to show you the packaging, show you some legit checking tips, and of course we'll do an on feet at the end. So stay tuned. Now, again, this is a shoe that's just really dope for the concept, for the story of it. Now, this is the first collab, I believe, with Union, and in my opinion, it's the best, right? We've gotten the 4s since then. There's been like the beauty shop joints like that the dude from Union's wife just did with Jordan Brand. But in my opinion, this is just such a creative concept. It's going to be really hard to top. But the whole idea of this is that some kid was just so in love with the Air Jordan 1 that when his started to break down, he just kind of decided to sew two of them together. So we got, this is actually a two-part collab. So we had this pair, which were the black toes, and we had the other pair, which are the storm blues. But with the black toes, basically you've got an amalgamation of the Air Jordan 1 black toe and the Air Jordan 1 in the natural gray or neutral gray, depending on, you know, when they've released. You've gotten different names for them. So that's really dope. Somebody just like the concept of somebody just sewing two shoes together, making like a Frankenstein-like shoe. So that's super dope. On the storm blue pair, you got, of course, the storm blues fused with the classic Air Jordan 1 breads. So I think that's super dope. So like I said, we're going to take a look at the shoe. I'm going to give you some legit checking features because there's definitely some differences between this replica and the retail pairs out there. You can kind of decide, you know, what you want to do out there on that market. Now, before we get into the shoe, I always like to take a look at the packaging. So this one comes in this nice, like, sort of Jordan nostalgia box. We got this collage with pictures of retro cards and shoe designs and ads and all of that. This nice little red Jumpman laying over it all. Really love that touch. So that's kind of how the box opens. It's a flip top lid, but on the bottom of that flip top, it's your normal Air Jordan 1 box, or at least that's what it looks like. Now, I gotta let you know, my shoe came packaged inside 2 Ziploc bags. I don't think that's standard practice, and I certainly don't think the retails came that way, but I gotta let you know that it did. And then on the inside here, you got this paper, and the paper is supposed to like give more insight into the design. I don't know if this was like the original sketch or what. I will also note my paper didn't come wrapped around my shoes. It was just kind of in the bottom of the box. And that's where I'm gonna put it, because we don't care about the paper or the box. We definitely want to see the shoes though. So let's go ahead and start the overview. Now, I like to go from the bottom up with these because I always forget the outsoles if I don't. So this is your standard Jordan 1 outsole. You've got your varsity red from the red and black toe shoes or whatever. So nice standard Jordan 1 outsole, really nothing to see here. And then moving up to the midsole, that's where you got your first major differentiator between a lot of other Jordan 1s, because this is a nice aged yellow midsole, or sail midsole, if you will. But it's pre-aged. Looks like it's been oxidized. It's been sitting for a while. If you were to leave a pair of shoes sitting out for a long time, this is what would naturally happen. I got a few pair of Dunks that have like yellowed like this. But anyway, I digress. So you got your nice little midsole there. And then as you move up to the shoe, like I said, you've got your standard, like all this right here is like what you would see on a normal black toe Jordan 1. So you got your black tumbled leather. This is super tumbled, by the way, on your mud guard. Super tumbled leather here on your white toe box. And then on the lateral and medial sides, one big differentiating factor, you have this suede swoosh. It's got a lot of movement on this suede swoosh as well. I don't know what the choice or the decision behind the suede was, except that it looks good. I don't know how that plays into the story of the shoe, but it's dope. So that's kind of your bottom half of the upper. One thing you will notice on this shoe, and it's more of a detail, but on the edges of all the leather, you've got like a bright yellow paint. On mine, it's not quite as bright as it's supposed to be, but we'll talk about legit checking factors in a minute. Now, once you get up past, this portion of the shoe, it's a different shoe. So what you'll notice is this sort of chain stitching all around the shoe that is, supposed to mimic bringing two shoes together. Very cool. So above that blue chain stitching, you've got the makings of a Jordan 1 natural gray. Now this, instead of being like a cracking plastic like you would see on like the Air Jordan 1 Lost and Found, for example, this is like a suede. And I don't think this suede is supposed to be this hairy, but it is a nice touch. I like it. But again, continuing that tumbled leather, a couple more differentiating factors between this and a lot of other shoes is, one, your Air Jordan Wings logo on the ankle collar is oversized. It's a lot bigger than it would be on any other shoe. And then you got this nice little Union LA tag right here up under your sort of wing on the Jordan 1. And then looking at the tongue, because the tongue, like the shoe, is a very much two-tone. So the bottom is this all black tongue like you would have normally gotten on your black toes. And then at the top is what you would see on a pair of natural grays. So you got this nice little aged sail looking tongue with your gray and white Nike Air hits. The other thing that's going to set this shoe apart from a lot of other shoes is the exposed foam. So on this tongue, you got a gray exposed foam on the bottom and a yellow exposed foam on the top. Really, really nice touch. Now let's talk about the extras that come with this shoe. First off, the shoe comes laced with a black lace that kind of midway switches to a cream color. I think that's really dope. And then I've also got more laces in the bag. So we got this nice gold lace. And then it looks like I got another copy of the same lace that's already inside the shoe. So that's an interesting choice. Maybe it goes from light to dark, or maybe it was just a mistake in the replica process. But that's a thing that's there. Now on the inside of the shoe, while I won't take it out, I will show you on this insole, you got a nice little, the same sort of diagram that you had seen on the shoe paper is on the insole as well. So that's a pretty cool touch. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. So you got your sock liner. The sock liner is from the storm blue or the natural grays. So you got that little gray sock liner. And that's the shoe. Like I said, if I'm looking at just details as far as like what's really dope, what stands out to me on this shoe, it's gotta be the quality on that tumbled leather. This entire upper is a super, super pebbly and textured tumbled leather. And then you got that suede up top. I think it's really dope. The shoe feels premium. Now, as far as legit checking, guys, I love to give you guys things to look out for legit checking purposes, to see if you can tell if your pair is real or if it's a replica like mine. Now, one thing to note is this yellow. There's supposed to be like a painted yellow on the edges of every bit of leather on this shoe. And what I can tell you is mine, on some parts, it's really pronounced, and on other parts, it's really faint. Now, I'm assuming over time, if you got a retail pair, yours was going to fade either way, but mine kind of came pre-faded. And so that might be a tell that your pair isn't legit if it came pre-faded like mine did. Another thing that's going to be the easiest tell on this shoe is this chain stitching. Now, the chain stitching is supposed to get closer together every time there's like a join on this leather. So you'll see it right here on the lacelets. On the lacelets, my stitching does get closer together, and it's supposed to get closer again right around here, like where that little ankle portion, little window portion meets the bottom of the shoe. It's supposed to get closer together right here as well. And you can see that mine doesn't. And all the way around the shoe, mine has a pretty consistent zigzag pattern on the chain linking. And that's not supposed to be the case. That's probably going to be the biggest tell. That's the one thing that I've seen that's wrong most often on these replicas is that another thing that you'll see that will actually vary from shoe to shoe is the placement on this oversized wings logo. Because that does vary from shoe to shoe on both the retails and the replicas, that's not really the best legit checking guide. I think the best thing to look at if you're trying to find out if you got a real pair, look at that yellow paint on the edges of your leather and look at that chain stitching around, the midfoot basically. So that's what I would look out for. Like I said, the details on this shoe are phenomenal. I really love the tumbled leather. I love the story of this shoe. The fact that it's like supposed to be two shoes stitched into one. This is my favorite out of the pair from the collaboration, but I don't know, man. Now that I've seen these in person, I kind of want to get my hands on the Storm Blues as well. Oh, another big detail is on the right shoe, you do have your Air Jordan 1 or Air Jordan Union tag. Now, this tag used to only come with the 4s, I want to say. This tag, well, I've seen this tag on 3s in the past, and I've also seen this tag on 4s, even though the tag that used to be on the 4s came on the fire red 3s. So I don't know what we got going on with these hang tags, but this one says Union in the same font that you would normally get the Jordan 4 flight tag. From what I can tell, it's supposed to be kind of frosted out. If it's too clear, you might have a replica. This one looks pretty good though. So all in all, this feels like a really good quality shoe. Like, I love the tumbled leather. This feels like it's gonna wear really well over time because this whole idea of it is that it's already pre-aged. It was 2 old shoes put together. I think this is gonna be one that looks good the more you wear it, looks better the more you wear it. And so I look forward to wearing these. This is the type of shoe that I could see myself wearing like every other day or so. The fact that it's such a high profile collab means I probably won't wear it every other day, but it certainly feels like it's meant to be worn that way. So I like that. I really love this suede swoosh too. Really dope. So those are my overall thoughts. I think this shoe, and it's funny, we got these back-to-back 10 out of 10s. I gave the Fragment Travis Scott lows a 10 out of 10. These will be another 10 out of 10 collaboration. I think this is just such a good story, such a well-executed design on a shoe. Now, as far as the replication, like I said, I got a major flaw on mine. So I'll probably give this score like I don't know, a 7 out of 10. It's really only one flaw, but it's a major flaw on that stitching. So be on the lookout. Your mileage may vary. I've seen replica pairs get that detail right, but most of them get it wrong. So usually the more you spend, the better your pair is. But I mean, there's only so much anyone's going to be willing to spend on a replica, right? But that's the shoe. I'm going to go ahead and lace these up. I'm going to keep the laces that are already pre-started, and we'll give you an on foot, and we'll get up out of here. If you want more information about my shoes, or if you want to talk sneaker news or all that, join my Discord community and follow me on Instagram. Links are in the description below. And let's jump to the on foot.